It's the day after Christmas, and in what has become an annual tradition, we're heading out for what promises to be one of our most epic motorcycle trips yet. After some negotiation with the wives and work, we have 14 days of adventure ahead of us. The plan is to ride from the border to the tip of Baja in time to meet my wife Brisa in San José del Cabo for New Year's. Go swimming with the whale sharks in La Paz, then spend 7 days taking more backroad routes up to the U.S. After winding our way through the twisties running along the border, we arrive at the town of Tecate. And thus begins our adventure. The plan for today is to ride through the Valle de Gaudalupe wine country, emerging on the Pacific coast at Ensenada. Then we'll travel south to Santo Tomas, and time allowing, make our way onto some coastal dirt trails in our final approach to Coyote Kells, our planned destination for the night. Highway 3, also known as La Ruta de Vino, is fast and scenic, with lots of sweeping turns. And it isn't long before we catch sight of the ocean and Ensenada below. This giant Mexican flag in Ensenada somehow got onto my list of things to see on this trip, and so already we have one thing we can scratch off the list. It's about lunchtime, so we stop for some seafood cocktail at this roadside stand. Generally, the idea of eating street seafood in Mexico would give me some pause, but Junior assures me this place is legit, and this big line of people also provides some comfort. Next, we must battle our way through the traffic and potholes of Ensenada, which I must say are even worse than I expected. And then worst of all, there's this endless parade of stop signs on the way out of town. It's not long before we adopt the ways of the locals and start treating them as yield signs at best. Having fueled up at Santo Tomas, we're excited to get our first taste of dirt for the trip. The road is pretty, but starts off a little boring. The immaculate grading urges us on to push the limits of traction, and it isn't long before we have our first down bike for the trip. Surprisingly, it is not mine.
Oh shit, it's pouring out. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, set my back though.
Before long, we see our turnoff for Ejido Eréndira and point our tires toward the coast. We can't see the ocean just yet, but we know it's there. You can smell it on the breeze. And there it is. We've made it to the ocean. After a steep, rocky descent, we've made it to this incredible beach, and it looks like we have it all to ourselves. One of the benefits of carrying camping gear is that you can stop for the night wherever the mood strikes you, and it doesn't take us long to decide that we're going to spend the night here. June decides to try some beach riding. decide I can't sit this one out and let him have all the fun to himself. Unfortunately, my descent is not as graceful as his was.
You okay?
You got that?
Oh, I got it. I got every glorious second of it.
But after a little bit of paddling, I finally make it out onto the firm sand near the water. Riding along the surf on this isolated beach with the sun setting in the background is one of the most incredible experiences I've had yet on my motorcycle. By the time we get our fill of beach riding, the sun is set. After a bit of a struggle to get back up onto the hill, due in part to me forgetting to turn off my traction control, we make it up to the bluff, set up camp, and settle in for a great night.